Alright, how's everybody doing? So this is another video for the BBC One clan, and with me I have today one of our deputies. His name's NemianLion. He's going to help me out with this video. Super excited about this particular video. What we're going to be doing, the first part of this video is we're going to be using the ARL. We're going to be going to a training room, and the objective is to show you in action how side scraping works. Angling, and what Lion's gonna do is he's gonna try to come at me. So it's like, come at me, bro. Okay, he's gonna come at me, and I'm gonna try to deflect. And I'm gonna show you how effective that is. The reason I'm showing you guys this is a lot of times in Tier 6 we bring out ARLs, and what I see is a lot of the team, and I'm guilty of it as well, is I come around a corner of a house and I just stick the whole front of the tank out to take my shot. Well, when you do that, your road wheels are exposed, and they'll shoot you every single time. And I see that happen, and it's not good. It doesn't help. So what we're gonna do is when we angle and we side scrape. So again, if you're not familiar with that side scraping, I have a video up on our channel about side scraping where I show you what it looks like. But today we're doing action. So we're gonna see what it looks like when somebody's shooting at you, and how many shots you can deflect. Okay. So, we're going to go ahead and do this thing. Alright. And we'll be in Desert Sands. Is where we're going to practice doing this thing. Alright, so I'm going to travel the heavy route on this map. This is a wonderful, wonderful map for side scraping and angling. There's a little choke point here that everybody meets up at. And they battle it out, mainly the heavies. So the scenario is I'm coming up here in my heavy, and most of the time there's a cap point here if we're playing Supremacy, and there's a choke point just right here where this cap point is. In line, you're probably pretty close. Alright, there he is. So this is normal the scenario. Now most guys will come out like this, just like I am. And Nemian, go ahead and take a shot at me while I'm coming out here. This is normally how it, yep, just like that. Well, now let's see what happens if we try to side scrape a little bit. Now, earlier we were doing a practice video on this, and Lion let me know that, hey, by the way, your cheeks on your turret are weak and vulnerable. So he told me if I angled my turret slightly, just like this, and then angled my tank, that it's really tough to pin. So now he's going to try to go ahead and shoot me. He might be able to. I think my bottom hole is right. Okay. Angle my turret, okay? Just like that. Just like that. Okay. So here's our scenario. I have my turret here, and he's not able to pin me. He cannot pin me. Now, if I move out too far, if I do this number, he can pin that lower plate. Okay, if I move too far in like this, he can pin the back, right? He's going to shoot me here when it reloads. There you go. So you have to do it just right. It has to be just right. Okay, just perfect. And you'll be able to defend all day. So then the scenario goes like this. Let's say he can't pin me, like he's not able to while I'm side scraping. So naturally what normally happens is people get frustrated and they're going to come at you. So he's going to come at me like this. So keep coming, keep coming. Alright, stop. So Lion's right there. Now I'm vulnerable. My side scraping really no longer helps that much because he's going to come around and hit me from the side. So now you can do this number. He may get a shot on you. Go ahead and shoot me. But then I can realign myself just like this. Now he's going to keep coming around. Keep coming around. Keep coming around. Alright, now, what we decided, we were practicing earlier, and we were trying to figure out where the weak points is on this ARL. And so something we figured out is I usually do angling with this tank. But honestly, we figured out it doesn't help that much. It does a little bit, but your best bet on this tank and the other tank we'll show you is probably to get in, right? Is that what we discussed? Is that on the low? Did I get those confused? Gotcha. Okay, I was confused on the tank. So, Yeah, I apologize. Yeah, the Lowe is the one where you actually go up against each other, front to front. Now this tank, tell me if I'm doing this right. Angling, is this helping me at all? No. Okay. Yeah. So as he said, everything's pretty much open. You can shoot me from anywhere. I'm pinnable. So at this point, this tank sucks. No, it's a great tank. So at this point, yeah, like you said, it's pretty much screwed. But now you can, with any tank, you can try and wiggle and make it as difficult as possible. But again, it's not really going to help you much because this lower plate is definitely pinnable. So that's pretty much with the ARL. That's one way to use it to defend in corners and things like that. Now when you come out and shoot, so stay right there real quick. Let's do the scenario again. I'm side scraping and I want to shoot him. Okay? And you're side scraping. How does that work? Well, the idea behind it, and this is kind of a bad spot honestly, is you may get hit. Okay, trying to shoot somebody, but your idea is you want to angle when you're coming out. So you don't want to shoot somebody and come out like this because you're wide open. You want to angle while you shoot. So I'm going to come out backwards and do this number and come back in. All right, what do you think? Is that a good spot? Okay. So he's saying it's a really good spot. It's hard to pin. So the idea is I'm going to come out, take a shot. I'm going to come back in immediately and take up that position so I don't get shot. Okay, side scraping position. There you go. Shot. No, that was good. That was an open spot. I had my, I was too far out on that one. Okay. Oh yeah? Alright. Okay, so the next tank we'll show you is we're going to pull out our Lowe. We were trying to figure out how to say that earlier, and we both just agreed with Lowe because we tried Lova, Lov, you know, all these things. None of them worked. So we're gonna pull out our Lowe, and we're gonna show you guys what we figured out on this thing. Again, you got to take an account too. Every tank's different. We're using 2 tanks. The ARL is what BBC One normally uses for tournaments right now, and the Lowe is a great tank all around to show side scraping, things like that. But people use all sorts of tier 8s. But the principle still applies. Every tank's different. Every tank has different armor aspects. The turret may be stronger than the lower plate may be stronger than the turret. It may be a tank better for doing hold down scenarios. Again, that's another video I have up there about hold down. So every tank's different. So we decided on this tank, this Lowe, and we'll show you what works best for it. Alright, let's do this thing. Alright, same scenario, taking the heavy route, and we're going to meet at that choke point. Now this tank has way better armor, of course, than the ARL, of course, tier 8, but overall, all-around armor is better. It's the weak points on this tank we figured out as we were going is the turret, sides of the turret, the cheeks are pinnable almost by any position, but you can angle it, deflect some shots. Alright, same scenario, I'm gonna angle. So again, my turret, tell me if I'm doing this right, line my turret, if I'm lining it up like this, a little bit like that. He says he can't pin me at this position. Now if I move my turret too much in, can you shoot me there? Yeah. So you gotta be wary of your turret. So we take that turret, so you can take your barrel and you can hover it over your front road wheel there, like kind of like this. Yeah, and He says he can't pin me at all like this. Okay. Now, the scenario I was trying to do earlier with the ARL, and I was wrong, was, alright, what happens when he comes at me? So he's going to come at me. So this really doesn't work anymore, because if somebody comes around that hole, that front, the front hole there, you can pin all day long, right? It's vulnerable. So what we're going to do is, I thought originally, and this is how I normally play tanks, in some cases this works really well, in some cases not. I normally angle like this. If he's coming at me straight on, come at me, I'm going to keep my tank angled like this. That can work, but you have to wiggle, you have to pray you don't get hit. But we were discussing this, and so we just face hugged like this. And if you face hug like this, you can't bring your gun low enough to hit that lower plate on the tank or the hole. You can't hit it. Or, excuse me. Yeah. But the turret, the cheeks are still vulnerable, so you have to wiggle that turret, and you can't do anything. Now, another thing you can do, let's stop real quick. Another thing you can do is, some tanks have really, help me out with the word there, Lion. That's horrible. I had a brain freeze there for a second. Your hatch. So you have your upper hatch. In some tanks, not in this tank, but in some tanks, like especially the VKs, the heavy VKs. Okay, those tanks, they have huge. Man, that word is just escaping me. This is not good. Hatches. Yeah, Commander's hatch. Thank you. Yeah, Lion said, "Get it together, man." No, he didn't. But he's like, yeah, Commander said, that's right. So what you can do in a scenario like this is, when people face hug, sometimes they can't pin you, so they'll go for that hatch if you have a really tall hatch. So what you can do is, Lion, go ahead and take your turret and point up in the sky as high as you can. Okay. Now his gun is, I can't pin his hatch because his gun's in the way. I can't do anything. Okay. Now this is, again, scenario being he has a really big hatch up there. But that's what you would do with a VK, with other tanks. And so, especially with a PC, you can hold down your right mouse button. You can do this number all day. So sometimes this is the best scenario. It looks ridiculous, but it keeps your hatch from being pinned. Okay. So just another tip and trick there. I'm gonna Lion. You can't hear him speaking, but I'm gonna ask him, is there anything I missed? Not really? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, good point. Very good point. Yeah, so the point is that he's making is, you want to angle your tank when you're coming around a corner. Just, if you look at what he's doing, he's going back and forth, and I can't get a shot unless that road wheel gets exposed, and that's hard when you're going back and forth. So he's showing you, if you do have to come around a corner like that, it's a very good point. You want to make sure you're steep enough and that road wheel's not sticking out. So very good. Yeah, good point. All right, guys. Well, this will conclude this video. Hopefully, it's helpful. I'll be uploading today the video on Hold Down. I haven't quite uploaded the whole thing yet, but I'll upload that one. Hopefully you guys get to see that as well. We'll have a couple more videos. Remember, this update 6.5, the whole garage is going to change. The whole entire thing is going to be totally different. Buttons are going to move. Things are going to totally be different. So when that comes out, I'm going to try to make a video as quick as possible explaining where everything's at. So anyways, well, that was fun. I thoroughly enjoyed that, and I guess what we'll do is talk to you later. Thank you, Lion, for your help, and see you guys next time.